Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a pretty big video. We have some PlayStation news, some Zelda news, some Mario leaks, and a big franchise leaking out for the Switch too. So let's go and get right into this video. So you may ask, well, who's your source on all these leaks? Well, it's somebody directly from Nintendo, and to be honest, it's Yoshi. And if you listen very closely, you might actually be able to hear Yoshi talk.
Hey, I'm the f***ing green lizard from Mario.
Regardless, we have a bunch of news to get into, so before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, it would truly mean the world to me. And let's go and get right into this video. So first, we have some PlayStation news to get into. I love my PS5, okay? Don't get me wrong. There's just not a lot of new games that are exciting me. Astrobot has me pretty excited. I've just been getting PS4 games for my PS5. Now, there are a few PS5 games that I have played, and I do enjoy them, but I really wish there was more to play. So what if I told you PlayStation 5 is about to get a bunch of games? And you may ask, well, how much is a bunch? By definition, I'm not really sure, but what about 1,300 games coming to the PS5? PlayStation getting more than 1,300 retro games on September 6th. The day I'm recording this video is September 2nd, so that's just 4 days away. Antstream Arcade is coming to the PS4 and PS5 on September 6th. The retro gaming service will be available for $39.99 per year, in addition to offering lifetime access for a one-time fee of $99.99. Antstream Arcade is set to become the first ever third-party cloud gaming service on Sony's consoles. So it doesn't say which games are available, so what I'll do is I'll try to find like a list or a graph or something and put that on the screen so you can see what kind of games are coming. But there are a few things I want to take away from this. One, paying $40 per year for stuff that you don't own. It's like, yeah, you could argue, well, that's what Game Pass is, right? But the major thing I want to point out is this says cloud gaming service, which means you will be streaming these games. Me myself, I'm not the biggest fan of that, but I still think this is worth pointing out, so that's why I just want to mention that this service is coming to PS5 for those who are interested. For people who have used the service, Antstream Arcade, because I think it's on PC and Xbox as well, in the comments below, let me know the quality of this, because I'm very interested. And now some Zelda news, because why not? Legend of Zelda. The games are amazing, but the timeline is all over the place. It's like a brand new game could come out tomorrow, but it might be like the second game ever chronologically. I know off the top of my head, because I know Zelda lore a little bit, Skyward Sword is the first Zelda game chronologically. But what about Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild? Because it just feels kind of out of place in the whole grand scheme of everything. Well, we have a brand new Zelda timeline update from the Zelda creators themselves, so let's check it out and see if there was any surprises. As part of a Nintendo Live 2024 event in Sydney, Nintendo showcased a newer version of the timeline for the critically acclaimed The Legend of Zelda series. And this is it. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. So first we have Skyward Sword right here. The Minish Cap coming second is truly crazy to me. I don't know where I would have placed those games, but I don't think it would have been second. The Minish Cap was actually developed by Capcom, and A Link to the Past and The Minish Cap are my favorite retro Zelda games. Even though I think Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker are technically retro now too, so I don't know how I feel about that. But here's the graph. It goes from the Minish Cap to Legend of Zelda 4 Swords, Ocarina of Time, and then it starts splitting up. But right here is what's so interesting to me. Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild are completely away from everything, so they are their own timeline or maybe their own universe entirely. They're not connected to anything, so I don't know how they will connect to any of this, if they are connected in any way, or maybe the next Zelda games will be all a part of this timeline right here. If they could remaster or remake any Zelda game, the one that I would want the most, I think, is Spirit Tracks or Phantom Hourglass, one of these two right here. So that is what I'm hoping for in the future. Everybody wants Wind Waker or Twilight Princess again. Those games are on like 3 or 4 consoles. I get it. You want it. That's cool if it comes. These two games right here are the games that I want the most. If not ports, which I don't know how they would work as ports, remakes or remasters would be amazing. So we actually have a leak about Mario Party Jamboree. PAX West or PAX East, I'm not sure. I think PAX West was going on recently, and there was a demo there. So people were going up and playing the demo, and they were taking pictures of the actual roster. And we have a picture of the roster, which is cool, so we can see all the characters. It looks like it was taken off like a flip phone from 2007. So, but even though the quality is bad, people are like confirming this is actual to the roster. And then Nintendo came out and said Pauline is a character the other day. Dude, we got Pauline back. We should all be happy. Here's the picture. Well, yeah, it's confirmed that Diddy, Drybones, Hammer Bro, and obviously Pom Pom are not returning. Somebody said this is a fake leak, old renders, and that's what I thought, but even though these renders look very old, like GameCube era or Wii era, some of the models look kind of new. It's very hard to see whatever's going on here. I'm pretty sure this is Pauline right here. I find it a little curious that this leaked out and then the next day, or maybe the same day, Nintendo was like, hey, Pauline is a character. So maybe they seen this leak and were like, you know what, we might as well put some information out there. But I am actually kind of excited for Mario Party Jamboree, and I'm not really sure why. Mario Party Superstars is the best Mario Party on the Switch. It's like a collection of all the old Mario parties. Mario Party Jamboree actually feels like a new entry entirely. We had Mario Party, what's the first one called? Super Mario Party or something on the Switch? I'm not sure. Whatever the first one was, it was okay at best, but it just felt unwarranted. Mario Party Superstars felt like a step up, but Mario Party Jamboree or Super Mario Party Jamboree, I'm not sure. Whatever the hell it's called, I'm actually kind of excited. And I really feel like the quality is actually going to be there, so fingers crossed for that. Now, some Switch 2 news. There are so many things we want for the Switch 2. And there's so many things we wanted for the Switch, but to be honest, the Switch just couldn't run the kind of games we were looking for. And I've actually been getting very, very excited lately, because I play my PS5 often, and even though I'm playing PS4 games, I'm like, man, if I could play this on the Switch, that's gonna feel so weird. It's gonna be awesome, don't get me wrong, but it's gonna feel so weird. Because the whole time we've had a Switch, we're like, yeah, you can play this game, but it's not that good. And like, it's on the Switch, but you should play it somewhere else. Or when a new game is coming out and you look at the bottom of the trailer and you're like, okay, PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox consoles. It doesn't say the Switch. This next generation of Nintendo consoles, it's gonna say the Switch 2, or whatever the hell the Switch 2 is called. And one of the biggest games in the entire world is gonna be on the Switch 2. Yoshi P on bringing Final Fantasy XIV to Nintendo consoles. Not Nintendo consoles. We're having conversations, making progress. Hopefully we'll have news soon. Them saying consoles, plural, and having news soon has me very, very excited. Because I think whenever they show off the Switch 2, that's one thing that's going to really sell it. They're going to be like, this is the new hardware, all the new features of the hardware. And then they might show a couple first party games they're working on, but the third party stuff is really going to sell it. Because if it's just better first party games, you're going to be like, I'll just wait, I have a bunch of first party games I can play on the Switch. But when they start naming bigger stuff like Call of Duty, Fallout, Grand Theft Auto, Final Fantasy, just all the games we wanted to play on the Switch, but it wasn't possible, that's what's really going to sell this console in my opinion. And Final Fantasy XIV, I know it's a major game, but I was wondering how many people play Final Fantasy XIV for them to want this to be on the Switch. And I just looked this up on Google, so I'm not sure how accurate this is. Despite a tumultuous launch in 2010, Final Fantasy XIV blah 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 has claimed 30 million registered users. That's an impressive number, no matter which way you want to look at it. So of course they would love to have this on the Switch too. And if Final Fantasy XIV comes over, we'll probably get games like Final Fantasy VII Remake, and then Rebirth, and then whatever the Part 3 is. Maybe Final Fantasy 16, because we see that going to Xbox now. And one area where Final Fantasy is really hurting is being a Sony exclusive. Final Fantasy 16, I think, underperformed a lot. And in my opinion, the number one reason is it just launching on PS5. Put it on Xbox and Nintendo consoles, and this game will sell probably double, maybe even triple. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about all this information? I would love to hear from you guys in the comments below. If you could, follow me on Twitter and Instagram. We are growing on both platforms, and that's amazing. And you guys know me, I'll see you soon with a new video. Peace out.